What it do? It's DOA with another putting it together. Man, here I am being a bearer of bad news again. It's interesting because with all the Kamala Harris shit going on, y'all know well, for those of you that don't know, I made a little video, maybe two videos about it. But while I was making my videos, I made a couple of analogies between Kamala Harris and some other folk. One of them folk happened to be Candace Owens Farmer, uh, better known as, I know she be going by Candace Owens, but she is married to a guy by the last name of Farmer. Um, I think I left it out of my video because the particular video I had, I couldn't get that clip in. I had some problems with the video, so I had to make a different one. And in the second video, I didn't make the same analogy. But I kind of like to stay in front of the news, if at all possible, for those of you that follow me and on here and other social media platforms. Know I'm usually predicting things, uh, future events and things yet disclosed. Um, but yeah, Candace Owens had to kind of circle back to her because in the meantime, in between time, Candace Owens has been very diligent in uncovering some facts about Kamala Harris's background. I don't know if any of you have watched those. I don't think I'm going to play those on my channel just because I'm going to end up probably saying some things about her that she might not particularly be all that fond of. Not that I'm about to disrespect her or nothing like that, but I don't want to get caught up in the copyright shit. But go watch Candace Owens' videos on Kamala Harris's background. She's basically been just tracking down some of the shit that a lot of us kind of could already smell about Kamala, which is that the black lady that you see in the pictures with Kamala, I'll pull some of those up, that she has kind of posing as her grandmother is not actually her grandmother. Yeah. And that her dad's dad, the Jamaican side of the family that's supposedly making Kamala Harris black in the eyes of the ignorant, is actually an Irish white dude. So I did some brief research on my own before I made my Kamala Harris video, and I did see what I thought to be a few white ancestors on the Jamaican side, which is her paternal side. Candace Owens has delved into that a little bit deeper and kind of confirmed some of those allegations that a lot of us may have been making. Yeah, here's the picture that it's these pictures right here supposedly supposed to be Kamala with her grandmother, but that's not her actual grandmother. It's like a hired hand that her family of slave owners, had some workers working around the house apparently, and that's one of them. So we do appreciate Candace Owens for doing that diligent work. She says she, got fired up because Kamala Harris had, or people were attacking Janet Jackson on behalf of Kamala Harris because Janet Jackson had said that she heard that Kamala Harris was white. So that fired up Candace Owens. I guess it fired the black side of, or the blackness, not side, the blackness of Candace Owens up. And she got hot on the trail. But see, the problem is, and I think, we got to this issue of them even feeling like they could call Kamala Harris a black American gradually over time. I mentioned in my other video how they did this with Bob Marley as well. And it's like Bob Marley is a mixed race fellow, but over time, blacks have kind of adopted him, and he's also kind of been pushed on us. And over time, he's kind of been viewed as a black person when really he's not. And I just wanted to make a few distinctions because I keep telling you guys about this pseudo history of black Americans being from Africa. And I don't believe that we are. There's a lot of information that I could pull up to show you why I don't believe that we are, but I believe it's one of the biggest cover-ups that the world has ever seen, is that who we call black people, black Americans, are actually Aboriginal Americans. But see, we've been led to believe that we're Africans whose ancestors have been raped by white people, and that's why we look noticeably different than the Africans that they claim that we come from. So they've been making up different excuses and different reasoning for why we look the way that we do. And pretty much all of that reasoning brought us to Barack Obama being the first black president. And had we been in front of this shit, Barack Obama would have never been able to have the success that he had, because black people embraced him because he looked like skin folk. But see, when it comes to my people, it's like an apple. You got the core, which contains the seeds being our children. And for you to continue to have pure apple trees, the seeds in the inside is what matters. So without us raising black kids and having black kids, and I mean full black kids, we're not representing the core of our race. These folk on the outside, you got your, mixed race folk who might have a drop of black in them, like say Colin Kaepernick, who's half black, half white, but he's really got a real black American mix in him. So I don't know, one of his parents, I believe, is actually a black American, not just some Jamaican or somebody with brown skin who they're calling black, lumping them in, and giving them that type of respect of being a black American. You got, mixed race folk that's like the skin of the apple. And in the inside, you got the meat of the apple, which is a lot of folk who are fully black, meaning both parents are black Americans, but they might not be the core, meaning they don't represent the majority, or they don't speak for the core issues of our race as a whole. So, of course, you got Kamala Harris, who's probably a dust particle on the outside of the skin of the apple, because she does not have any black American in her. The brown that she does have in her, I don't know if her dad's lineage traces back to Africa, but even if it did, it doesn't make him be any more closely related to my folk, to black Americans. So really, for us to call her black, it would be just a hope and a wish. Like, she's not black. Then you got Barack Obama, who apparently is half African, and then the other half is an American white. So really the American white is what's giving him the claim to American fame. But the Kenyan dad doesn't make him any more like a black American than Rachel Dolezal. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're not Africans. We're Aboriginal Americans.
When I was reading to prepare for this interview, I was quite surprised to see you use the word Aborigines talking about African Americans.
You know, I've dealt with that issue. I've already, talked publicly about that.
Which there's a difference. Then insert Candace Owens. Now, I got a lot of love for Candace Owens, but I'm also very wary of Candace Owens because I believe that Candace Owens is somewhat of a henchman. And I'll explain. I think she's a very intelligent black woman. I briefly looked over her history and it said I think she's maybe a fourth Caribbean from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. But she's from, I think, White Plains, New York, but been up in the Connecticut area and stuff. So I mean that a New England black is a little bit probably different type of black person. I think we will all agree. Of course, don't want to stereotype the whole area because I mean there's an array of different, I'm sure, black peoples that you can find in the Connecticut area, but a lot of us black people's roots come from the South. So the closer you are, to the South, probably the closer you are to the core of the race. Just with all due respect. But I noticed Candace Owens had some unfavorable run-ins with some white boys in the somewhat prestigious, I guess the very prestigious school that she went to in high school. And her family ended up suing the Stanford Board of Education in federal court. And she won. So I think some white boys were like, teasing her and doing egregious shit. So she had some bad experiences with white fellows back in the day. Well, fast forward to today, she's got 3 kids with a white man. Now, I'm not going to say Candace Owens is not black. I believe she's fully black. But here's the sticky thing. When it comes to speaking on behalf of the people, I think Candace Owens probably realizes that she has not been embraced by black people quite the way that she thinks that she should. And I've heard her make mention to it being because she supports Trump or she's a Republican. But I don't think that it's just that. I think it's because she's married to a white man. And I don't think anybody has anything personal against her. This is her husband's father on the screen here. Lord Farmer is what his title is. Nickname Mr. Copper. You can read quickly while it's on screen about, what he supports and what he stands for. And you could kind of figure out what Candace Owens stands for and what she's about just by reading what he's about. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, in order to be of the core of the race or speak for the core of the race, you must contain the seeds of the race. And, as much as Candace Owens has done, on behalf of the race and for the race, she has 3 kids who are not black kids. They're non-black. They're mixed kids. They're Kaepernicks. They're mixed race kids. So without her holding the seeds of the race, she can't really speak for the core of the race. And I see she's making a big headway, and I'm very glad for her, and I'm appreciative of the work she's done in exposing Kamala Harris. But it seems like the powers that be are trying to get a head of steam behind Candace Owens, because they're probably going to use her in the future, in the near future, to probably mislead us in some kind of way into believing something that's not true, i.e. we're all from Africa originally, or something to that type of degree, or something that the farmer family that she's a part of now could benefit from. But I'll let you guys read it, and hit me up in the comments, man. Let me know how y'all feel about Candace Owens and what y'all think about what I've said about what they might be gearing up to do with Candace Owens, man. You know, I like a good debate. And once again, I just want to say I got nothing personal against Candace Owens. I hate to have to speak on her because she is doing good work right now. In the name of Janet Jackson and the rest of us. So I do appreciate that. But, you know, people make decisions, and once you make them, you got to live with them. And I just think that that's one that I know us as black people, it means something to us when you've partnered up with another race and you're not really raising black kids. It kind of matters in how you view the world and what you think's going to be best for the future. You see? But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to have some more shit coming for you. Peace.